The first thing you want to learn when you hit Alcatraz is keep your mouth shut, walk with your back to the wall.
I'm Pat Mahoney, former Alcatraz correctional officer, and I'll be your guide. I served 7 years on the Rock. These first photos introduce some of my fellow officers.
Yeah, my name is Leon Whitey Thompson. My number was 1465. I was a man that had total hatred in them days. I hated anything that walked or crawled on this earth. I was a man who was dead inside. You couldn't hurt me no more, see?
My name is Darwin Kuhn, number 1422. Figured I'm never going to get out. Yeah, I'm going to sit right here until I die.
The Alcatraz Cellhouse opened as a federal prison in 1934.
Well, here's a typical Alcatraz cell. Every one of them in the cell house exactly like.
I had a middle tabletop and a little chair there, and that was about it. The cell was pretty barren.
One of their favorite privileges was the recreation yard.
The most pleasant place, I believe, on Alcatraz, and the most appreciated. The handball court, the horseshoe court.
Prisoners who chose not to behave ended up in a harsher place, isolation. D Block was the prison within Alcatraz, the treatment unit.
This place is going to operate on the basis that you do what you're told, and you're going to get a fair break. If you don't behave yourself, we're going to come down on you like a ton of bricks.
Unruly or violent prisoners were sent here. They stayed in their cells 24 hours a day. Typically, they were only allowed out once a week for a shower and exercise.
Now, in this cell block, we have 42 of the least popular cells in Alcatraz. Although by far they are the best, the roomiest, and the nicest state-of-the-art cells that were available in this prison.
It was cold, it was damp. The wind used to just blow through there. You could hear it. At night you could hear it whistling through the windows. Well, when I'd go in the hole, what I used to do was I'd tear a button off my coveralls, I'd flip it up in the air, then I'd turn around in circles, then I'd get down on my hands and knees and I'd hunt for that button. And when I found the button, I'd stand up and I'd do it again.
But if you would close your eyes like right now, close your eyes and seal your eyes up with your hand, with a little concentration, you can see a light. And pretty soon that light will get brighter. And you got to concentrate on this. And after a while, or not a short while, this takes time and practice, but pretty soon you can almost put your own TV there. And you can see things. And you can go on trips. And this is what I did.
In May of 1946, an inmate named Bernie Coy, along with 5 accomplices, decided they would escape to freedom.
Alcatraz was built to keep every inmate directly under a gun.
Find the pictures of the escapees. To escape, Bernie Coy knew he needed the keys in the gun gallery. Coy used his homemade bar spreader.
He spread the bars apart, wide enough so that he could squeeze into the gallery.
None of the keys worked.
What? You sure you don't know what key opens its control box?
8 officers were captured and locked up in these cells.
He shot them in cold blood, one by one.
For 2 days, the Marines and correctional officers bombarded the cell house.
And we decided that the escapees were dead. We found them there in the utility quarter. They were firing their guns as they died.
My grandmother taught me how to crochet when I was a kid. So I taught a lot of guys how to crochet. Big tough guys sitting in there with a needle and crocheting.
You couldn't beat Alcatraz for the beautiful view there.
So there was never a day you didn't see what the hell you were losing and what you were missing. You know, it was all there for you to see. There's life. There's everything I want in my life, and it's there. It's a mile or a mile and a half away, and yet I can't get to it.
When they heard the escape siren, every officer on the island rushed here to report for duty. 3 men were missing from the cell house.
The inmates are supposed to be dressed and up, standing in front of their doors for count. Bill, there's a guy up here, I can't get up. And he was laying in there, so I reached in through the bars and I hit the pillow. And Lord knows what happened. The head fell off on the floor.
Prisoners Frank Lee Morris and 2 brothers, John and Clarence England, had escaped the night before. They made dummy heads to fool the officers. According to the reports, the men enlarged the vent openings in the back of their cell. The 3 men climbed up these pipes to the roof. The men have never been found. 3 times a day, all the men in general population gathered here for 20-minute meals. Imagine 200 plus men, each armed with a knife, fork, and spoon. This was potentially the most dangerous room in the cell house. At the end of 3 decades, over 1,500 men had served time on the rock. By then, Alcatraz had served its own time. After years of harsh wind and weather, the buildings were badly deteriorated. The isolated island was too expensive to run. Goodbye, and thank you for visiting Alcatraz.